What's going on, guys? Let's give everyone a couple minutes to hop on. Okay. Live now. Come join, folks. Just quickly post on social, guys, and we'll get started. Should get 100 quick. Let's quickly get 100 viewers in here. Oh, and then I'll run through some stuff. Hopefully everyone had a great holiday. Holidays are coming up even more. It's been a crazy trading couple of weeks. I apologize that I have not been live too much recently. My life is pretty crazy. I now have a puppy. As you guys know, join the little Spud Zone family. So life's busy. I'm trying to cater to you guys 15, 20 hours a day. So it's a lot going on. So I do apologize for not going live as much in the last couple of weeks, last months. But we'll get after it in today's session. We'll just give everyone about 30 seconds to come on in. And we'll get started. Okay. We'll get started here. Awesome, 50 viewers. Thanks for hopping on, guys. Tony Iney, hey Spud, I'm new. You've made me money today. Thanks. Tony, welcome. Victor, how are we? Jaheim, Stephen Webb, how we doing? William Fuller, Juan Camillo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever time zone you are at. Dietrich, how you doing? Everyone's jumping on now. We'll get started shortly, guys. And we will run through some charting exercises, etc. But Jeep for Life, how you doing? Stan Mafia, hello. Cool. All right, guys. So we got about 50 users. I'm sure a couple hundred will come in soon. But let's do this. Awesome. So kind of going to run through today, guys. And do keep in mind, okay, we got 72 people on the chat. Tom Keys, Banju, everyone, hello. Thanks for joining. Today will be a pretty good session. A lot of new folks joining the Spud Zone server. First off, I want to say welcome. Hopefully you guys are finding the community really helpful. Try and post my ideas, trades, thoughts, anything about the market, what I'm seeing, whether it's a scanner, what I'm seeing, whether it's on CNBC, whether it's a market sentiment, whether it's a big block hitting something. I'm always posting what I'm seeing. So it's a bit different than other Discords or different chats that may just post entry, exit, etc. I like to give more verbiage. I like to give more of my thoughts around a certain play or particular market, etc., or particular sector. So I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the community. I'm trying to make it one of the best Discords in the world, on the planet. So let's keep up the positive feedback. Any negative feedback, please let me know. I'm happy to contribute and try and change it to best gear your interest and likely. So today, going to talk through three names. ISIG, absolute monster name, probably the best alert across anywhere, anything the last couple of days. Probably the best alert we've had in a couple weeks now. It's been a while since we've caught 200% equity mover. Options we've been nailing hundreds of percentages because of the volatility, but I'm talking from an equity standpoint, small cap standpoint, this was a great play today, and we alerted yesterday before everyone. So going to walk through that name as well. I'm going to walk through Baba, which was an awesome play for us, especially those folks who are working all day long. Those folks working can't log into their account, check every minute of the day. Those Baba calls, Baba shares off 110. That was a beautiful last couple day draw, from a draw there. And then the PayPal calls, those hit pretty nicely. If you loaded the low 180s dipped and you sold in the 190s, those ran for a couple hundred percentages. Shares ran 5, 6, 7% on the equity side. So those were nice. But going to jump into some charting today, guys. Do keep in mind, disclaimer, this is Spud from Spud Zone. I've turned 15,000 to 2 million trading my own money, retail money. I post and alert my plays, and you're able to follow them live within the Spud Zone Premium Discord. If you're looking for access, you can see my tech team. They'll post down the link below. I know folks are joining from StockTwits, Webull, all over social media. You can follow me on those platforms as well. I do not trade for folks. I trade solely for myself with my own hard-earned money. So Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking for, whether I'm short, long, or I'm buying calls, puts. I'm posting my ideas. So take it with a grain of salt, and look to either learn from my plays, help study, help understand pre-breakouts, etc. But all these sessions that you've probably seen in the past on my YouTube, we go over a bunch of stuff, and I'm purely technical. So I look for price action, right? Price action. Where are the shares being bought? Where are the options being bought? Where are the shares being sold? Where are the puts being sold? Or as simple as look at candle and volume, right? So I'm going to kind of walk through ISIG. This thing, excuse me, this thing went absolutely parabolic today. It started going parabolic on, what's today, Monday? Wednesday. Started going parabolic on Monday. And I want to walk through, right? A lot of folks are asking me, hey, Spud, what's an inside bar setup, right? It's a common phrase used in small caps. It also applies to large caps. I'm going to talk through what an inside bar setup actually means, because people are like, I'm a new trader. I don't even know what that means. So I'm going to walk through that. So typically what an inside bar setup is, guys, you have one day where it's a monster breakout, right? So picture any stock having a huge breakout, 50, 100, 200, 75%, whatever the heck it is, right? The next day, there's typically either a big sell-off, a consolidation, where people are kind of calming down, analyzing the news, what's going on, seeing the price action, right? So we went up 204% on Monday. Tuesday, we went down 31% on 11 million volume. Monday was 84 million volume. So 8x the volume Monday than there was Tuesday. Pretty good sign. Not many sellers. Look at that little red candle down there. This is the daily chart, guys. It's a very tiny little red candle. Now, guess what today? 6x that volume of yesterday. Two huge green candles. Now, an inside bar means on the second day of selling, expect another bar that potentially could be higher than the first bar, right? And let's take a look back. If you guys remember me, I was saying how the price action on ticker ISIG, if we roll back to the 5-minute chart and we go all the way back to Monday, sort of where it started. Let's not look at today because that was just parabolic mania. I'll talk through today, but the important part was catching this before everyone's buying at 12, 15, 20, 30, whatever the heck it went to. We alerted this right in here on this candle down there. But why? Why? So if we go back to Monday's chart, let's look at the price action, folks. We had a rip out of the gates at 9:15, 9:30, right in here, consolidated all Monday morning. Then we had a ripper up. This is where it started halting, and I call that range percentage gap. When it hits this halt up, kind of just gets in that gap. That was a 30% play there. Then we see some profit taking, fine on a candle. This is the 5-minute chart, folks. And then we sort of see it consolidating all day. Look, consolidate, right? It dumps back down to here. But what's the bottom wick? 1120, rips off 1120. I alerted that dip in here, sold the rip to 14, right? And it consolidates all above, way above this 1150 zone. So I'm like, wow, this is really good price action all day. Finally closes into 15, I think it was 1530, 1560. So that's a great close, right? It closed higher than basically the entire day. So that means all shorts here, anything below 1560 is underwater in the red. So that's a great close money. So when I saw the price action, I'm like, this could be a multi-day runner. I wouldn't have said that, guys, if this stock then fell, maybe closed at 10:30. I'd say, ooh, this could see 7s or 6s tomorrow, So no, I alerted this could be a multi-day runner. So when I see a 30% drawdown, I think it was 38% at one point the next day, it got below in here. I mean, look, 1019, 1031, 10, right? So how do we know the 9s was a really, really good spot to start adding? Well, let's see this. Why I alerted 9s as an opportunity was as a potential swing opportunity in the 950s to 980s to even 1020s yesterday in the add-in spot. Let me get rid of these indicators for you guys so you don't have to really look at them because it's too much nonsense going on. So let's look maybe at the 30-minute chart here. Probably a little bit more. Just want to go back to Monday. Sorry. Okay. No, maybe 15. Hold on. I'm trying to find a good bar. It's too soon to tell here. Hold on. So, okay, here we go. Perfect. See the bottom of this wick down here? We got like 980s, which is the under halt. See this little zone in here, this little under halt zone? We got 959 at the top of this candle, right? And then the bottom of this candle is like 994. I wanted right in there, which would be about below view up on that day, but also which would be here, right? So why did I add in there? I alerted that buy there, and maybe with a tight stop under 870, 850 maybe. And so if you go to the 5-minute chart and we go check this bad boy out, look what had happened. We get dumped all day. And guys, keep in mind, this is yesterday's trading session, please. This is yesterday's trading session. I'm going to cover mine in a sec. I'm going to cover today's session in a second. Selling out of the gate, selling out of the gate. I originally tried actually a scalp in here, 1070. I was hoping maybe it'd push to 1112s. Even the top of that candle didn't. Stop lost out on that first scalp. Then it went lower. Then I said, okay, I think I want in here. I waited for that flush washout candle, which we got off 160,000 shares. I bought right in here going up on that wick, and boom, that was a 7% move, 1% move. As you saw, the volume is double than what the selling was in here, which is a great sign to see. See these two green candles? That's what we call strong price action. That's where buyers are accumulating. When there's a huge green candle like that, that means it's either a huge short covering or that's where buyers want in, right? Or maybe a short says that's enough. You know, and good thing shorts covered at 950s because now the stock's at 1911. That's where it closed. So, you know, then we saw a back drawdown, back down to 960. Buyers came in again, showed the strength. So I said, okay, 940, 970, 980 seems to be the floor for now. I'm going to risk off that. So I started loading, started buying. I actually swung some shares in the IRA, about 20,000 overnight. Then we get a 920 pop out of nowhere, 21%. Now I'm like, whoa, this thing's got more in the tank. And guys, keep in mind, I alerted this play in the Premium Spud Zones Discord because I saw the price action on Monday, and it seems super bullish, right? I wouldn't have alerted this if it broke down to those 12, 11, 10s as a close Monday. Then I would have said, bears have full control and don't love the price action. This thing just screamed like it wanted higher. So I used the 30% drawdown yesterday as the bridge to saying, okay, let me get a cheaper entry and try and potentially overnight this puppy. And so we got it, 21% right in here. And I sold actually right after close. I sold, oh, you're going to kill me. I sold in the 13s, 1340, 1350 on my IRA. I was up 35, 40% in one day on my IRA. I'm like, I'm going to take some profits because I didn't know if it maybe break down back to the 11s. I wanted to be sure I sell in the 13s. All of a sudden, this caught fire. This started halting up. Now we're in the 17, 18, 19s. They hit 24 today, almost $25. I mean, it's 200. That's 150%, guys, in 24 hours of trading. If you didn't lock profits in here from the 9s alert, I would call that pure greed. I mean, I would have sold half, maybe scaled out 80% of it, maybe about 20% ride, but it's too strong of a move. And in these markets, I'm locking 150, 100%. I'm probably locking it way before it even hits that. I'm not letting anything really ride in these markets, especially in small caps. Have been pretty dry lately. I want to make sure we come out with some wins, right? So, you know, I locked down in here before the initial run today, but I can't be greedy. Made 35, 40% on this name today. So I can't be greedy. Do I know where this one's going? I don't know. Price action looks good. Looks like it's holding the support trend line, which is 1760, 1780. If it breaks below the 1750, see this trend line down in here? 1770. If it breaks down in here, we could see maybe a push back down the 15s. But this is a pretty good trend line for now, holding upper band support right in here, right? You see this line? We just draw a line across. See how the support's there for now? 1780. So we'll see if that band holds. Be a decent spot to hold, and then maybe you could see maybe one more leg out to 24, 25, 26 tomorrow. If not, you'll probably see a drawdown back to 13, 15 zones. Keep an eye on that name. So that was ticker ISIG. I'm going to look at the comment section. Is this helpful? Is this analysis helpful? Please comment. I just want to make sure, you know, this stuff's helpful. Just drop some comments, guys. I want to make sure the charting here makes sense. Any questions? Going to take it slow from there. Awesome. Looks like we now have 100 users. Appreciate you guys all joining. So that's what we call, right? And what happened? That was an inside bar play where the third day is higher highs than the first day. Makes sense? This is the daily chart, right? The third day is higher highs than the first day. So, and sometimes, you know, in the volume, right? So now another name I was looking at, if this follows trend, right now that inside bar candle, inside squeeze candle, inside bar day, this setup has been pretty popular as of late, right? So then we saw this ticker name, ENSC, and I analyzed this as a potential inside bar play today. And it did not sell off like I thought it would. I mean, this is only minus 6% after a 136% day. This could see more upside to the threes, right? It was an inside bar play at the open here, if you look at the bottom. But that's a green candle. That's not even a red candle. Everyone bought the dip here. This one could potentially move higher. 352 is the high. If it breaks 350, you could see the push all the way to 485. Now, that sounds crazy for many, but that's where the gap fill would be, all the way up into here, 450. That's where I gave my Grand Slam target, 455. That would be for a full 50 to 100% gains. I don't know if it's going to hit that, but this does look pretty good if it holds above, sort of right in here. If it holds above the 270, 275 for a little bit, you could see maybe a move to the 354s. So that's another inside bar setup, right? Here's the second day. The third bar for it to be a great play or inside bar setup would be a bar above the 352 line tomorrow, right? That would be a great inside bar setup. So I'm going to be watching this one. I overnighted on my IRA in my Fidelity account. I actually have 200 shares left over here in my day trade account. I guess I forgot to sell those. So I'm only holding in my IRA on this one. I had some great scalps, 270 all the way to 3 a bunch of times. So that was a great trade. So I'm holding that in my IRA. I'm hoping for a 1 or 2 day swing here. Maybe nail 20, 30% if the trend stays intact, right? If the trend stays intact. If the trend doesn't stay intact, we could retest those 250s, 240s tomorrow. So keep in mind, keep a look maybe tomorrow in pre-market, maybe and get a sense of where this puppy's heading. But that would be an inside bar setup, right? We also had great strong price action all day. A little volatile. Take a look at the 5-minute chart. This one was a little bit volatile. Down in here, I didn't watch it. Down in here, I didn't watch it. I saw this candle right in here, these three. So I bought the dip, trying to time this out. I bought some size 50,000 shares, 240s, sold on the rip in here at 280, 290s. Then we bought the dip down in here at 260s. 270s, bought the dip down in here. Overnight in the IRA off, I think it was 270, 268. So that will be my entry there. I'm loading in here. I'm hoping to sell maybe 320, 350s tomorrow. We'll see. Looks pretty solid as a trade idea. We'll see if that inside bar holds up. Any questions on ENSC? That was a couple two different trades in the alert. Awesome. Glad that it's helpful. Seeing so many people say it's helpful. Great. So that's charting there. And for all the new traders following, I think there's been hundreds of people signing up lately. First off, welcome to the Spud Zone. But second off, these are the videos where you guys want to just dig into. Take an hour or two of your time, get a pen and paper, and just start learning where I'm looking to take entries, where I'm looking to sell. I've had hundreds, if not thousands, of DMs over the past couple of years saying, thanks so much, Spud. You really taught me how the basics of trading. Now I can go identify my own setups. That's ideally where you want to get to, right? Use me as a walking pad to build your own success and, to really be a successful trader, if not investor as well. Whether it's a day trader or whether it's a swing trader, whether you're just trying to make some coin or some cash for the holidays, for the family, whatever your idea it is, right? To pay for your illnesses, whatever reason you need the money for, it's a great potential side income if you're disciplined and if you have the stomach to be able to handle the volatility, right? So these are some great charting, right? You get supports here. Here's a rip. You want to sell. My number one rule is, guys, you want to sell into strength. When there's huge volume, that's the great time that you want to be selling into that strength. You want to be buying the fear. When there's fear, when everyone's fearful and selling off, that's typically when you want to maybe take a starter or look for a small starter, right? Leads me directly to my next point. We're going to talk through Alibaba Group. Let's talk through Alibaba. This daily is one of the most oversold, craziest daily chart moves I have seen in years, 5 years maybe 5 years. And that aligns because Alibaba hit a 2017 low. We're in the biggest bull market in the last probably 3 or 4 decades, 30, 40 years. And this company is growing at a 25% year-over-year rate, billions upon billions, one of the largest companies in the world. And you're telling me it's down 50 to 60% drawback in the hottest bull market in the probably of all time? One of them? Where's the bounce, right? So I alerted a heavy buy alert, heavy Jan call alert right around the 10, I think it was 110s. This hit a bottom of 108. I know there's a lot going on with China. Yes. But at what point does fundamentals say, oh my God, this is just so beyond undervalued, disgustingly undervalued. Where do we buy? And that's really what you saw the last couple of days is big money just being like, this is too cheap to ignore at this point. It's too cheap to ignore. And that's the price action you saw the last couple of days. Had a 20-30% move there in 2 or 3 trading sessions. Beautiful off this bottom daily gap fill. This could see 130s, 140s for the full 40% gap fill move, which would equate to probably around 1,500 to 2,000% on the contracts I alerted. Don't know if it's going to hit that, but it's not selling off anymore, which is good. It's holding strong. No update from China yet. That's the reason for the main sell-off recently. But let's look at BABA. The price action has been phenomenal. And I want to talk through where did I find the 108, 110 zone as a buy zone. If you go look at the monthly chart, let's check it out. If you look down in here, this was the 128 support, which was holding for a while, guys. This was holding for a while. Right in here, the 130 support line. That was holding for a couple days, a couple weeks actually. And then all of a sudden, pow, there was a big gap down. This is the monthly chart. The reason I alerted 110 was right in here. See the bottom candles in here? Right in here is that sort of when it started stair-stepping to new all-time highs. So where the runs start is typically where buyers like to get back into it. Also, there's a lot of shorts in the 300s, 200s, high 100s. You get this thing down to where the run started, just from a technical analysis and algos alone, people are going to start covering their shorts for 50% gains, and they're going to go long because there's no point to not go long in these zones, right? 110, exactly where this level has started moving. Look at the weekly chart. That's the monthly lookout. Let's look at the weekly chart all the way back to 2017. It's going to take me a while. I mean, Jesus, Christmas here. 2017, where are we looking? We are at bottom of this candle. What do we got? Bottom of this candle, 123. What's the bottom of this wick? Bottom of the wick, 112, 113. So that's really where I started to say, okay, this could go long. Now, my second line of defense, if there was more selling on this name at Alibaba, if 108 breaks down, 105 breaks down, where are we headed? We're probably headed back down to about 93 to 86 zones. If Alibaba gets to 86 to 90 zones, I will load the boat, multi-year calls, shares, IRA. That will be my throw in the towel, load the boat down in here. I don't see this name going to 2016 lows here. That would be an incredible buying opportunity. And this is a name that I think you could sit on 3-5 years and maybe double, triple your account on. I've said it multiple times. I have personal friends, family, everyone, a lot of folks that are very, very bullish on this name. It's a great company. They have great revenues. They're basically the Amazon of China. And the only problem is they're getting, the only reason why this is down right now is the uncertainty with China regulation. And that's why you saw the China stocks taking a hit. But it's a solid company. So if you like to take the risk, these are all levels down in there that you may want to start accumulating some dips for the long portfolio. I rode the BABA calls. I think I made around 8 to 10K on my IRA in those. That was a beautiful, almost double my account, which is phenomenal. It's a small account. So I'm working on that. So this was a great trade. Then let's look at PayPal. Similar thing. Another large mega cap tech stock that's sort of just been beaten up. If we look at the weekly chart, right down in here is actually when I alerted the bounce. 180. We're at 197. Wow, I didn't see how strong this closed today, guys. These calls are probably up 200, 300, 400, 500%. I don't know what you added. These are absolute beauties. So why the weekly then chart 175 to 178 zones? Look at the support here. Support, 174, support, 175, support, 182. So right there is huge weekly support where the run started to 310. So same situation. You add the January calls, give yourself maybe 3 to 5 weeks of potential time for the bounce. And then we get the daily bounce. Let's look at the daily chart. Let me get the daily chart, right? Where do we go? We go to 179. I alerted calls right in there, 179, 182 zones. And now we're starting to slowly get back into the upper band, right? 0.5%, 3%, 6% in 3 days, right? On the options equates, that's hundreds of percentages. So, That's potentially where you want to take that starter 179, 183 to go long on, and maybe want to sell at the 205, 213 zones where I alerted a sell, as a sell as a profit taking move, right? And that's a quick 10, 15, 20% on your IRA or long account or whatever your day trading account, whatever you're playing, right? So that's PayPal. That was a beautiful move off those bottom zones. I hope these charts are helpful because, guys, there's not many opportunities in the market where you can get a fire sale discount better than 70, 80% of the investors in the name, and be confident with an entry. I mean, if you think about it, right? If you bought PayPal anywhere between last year, 2020, and now, a full year, you have a better entry than every single person who's bought PayPal from last year this time to this year this time. You have a better entry than them. Every single person who bought in those 364 days, you have a better entry. That's pretty damn good entry. There's a lot of people long in the 200s, 300s. So you have to realize that, right? Big money likes the cheap discounts, and this was a cheap discount on a mega tech stock. 171 is really the low. I think if we get to 171 and there's a big market correction, I'll probably load there, maybe 165. I'll probably add even more shares or long calls. So these are great opportunities, team. Great opportunities that were being given in the marketplace. And you want to look for the solid big names that bounce first, especially ones that are down huge, right? PayPal, Alibaba, Amazon, Apple, Square, right? All these names that are just down, just getting smoked, losing 30, 40, 50% of market share. Those are the names you might want to pick up for a bounce. Now, is this going to be a short-term bounce at 205, 210, 215, 220? I don't know. Is it going to hold these levels for the next year or two? I don't know. Could get that retest of 180, but at least the calls that I alerted printed about 100 to 500%, depending on which expiration you took. So these were great opportunities here, guys. I hope folks are really starting to bank on some of these names, bank on some of these plays. And honestly, I don't care if anyone's making money or not. I really care about if you're learning. I want you to learn, especially all those folks that have starter accounts, paper trading, whatever you're doing, learn, study, because all the price action, all this movements, you can really learn a ton from all this. Especially go and study these videos. I go over and thoroughly, whether it's small caps, large caps, you're going to be able to learn a lot. And that's really, at the end of the day, all I really care about for everyone is how you learn, right? I think I just saw someone in the chat. This is super solid information. I like this. This is like teaching us how to fish. Exactly, right? No one can pull the buy or sell button for you. At the end of the day, you have to know where to buy, where to sell. Obviously I'm going to help you with like where I'm buying, where I'm selling. So, those are great opportunities potentially to get in, make some coin, whether that's options, shares, equities, etc. But I'm really just at the end of the day trying to teach as many people, thousands of folks and coaches, as many people as I possibly can. So I'm really happy that these sessions are sort of informative. So we covered BABA today. We covered PayPal today. We covered ISIG, which was a supernova small cap runner. Then we cover ENSC, I believe that's a ticker name, which has an inside bar set up for tomorrow, which I'll be watching. It'll be one of my top watches tomorrow. So I hope this session was helpful. I'm going to go try and eat some dinner. It's been a long freaking day. I'm going to try and eat some dinner. I will do some Q&A real quick, 5 or 10 minutes max. So if you are in the comment section, team, I see hundreds of you are here. Post some questions. I'm not going to do a full 30-minute Q&A, guys. I'll do that in another video. I'm just super busy and exhausted. Hit me with some questions. Definitely hit the like button. Thanks, Marvin, for reminding me. Definitely hit the like button. Do share with friends and family. You can learn a ton from these videos, I think, personally. I don't share my time often like this, so it's basically a free content, free demo of everything. And I hope you guys take that pretty serious. So shoot some questions. Let's start answering some Q&A. Got about 5 or 10 minutes, guys. Start shooting. What made you decide to not play DARE? Great question. This is a great learning example too. DARE Bioscience had a huge after-hours spike last night, right? What made me not play it? Really simple. Let me tell you exactly what made me not play it. When I saw these two candles here after the news, that to me was we're selling the news, or going short, or we're selling, taking profits. And that was right at 5 o'clock last night. Then it consolidated, closed decently. 4 in the morning, it went up to 339, fine. And then we just started to see selling all pre-market. When there's something selling off pre-market, it's going to dump even harder during the market. That's exactly what we saw all the way down to $2 today. Wow, all the way down to $2, went red. That's a 40% green to red move. Hate to see it, but all started with that candle, price action. Now, if this price action candle went up to 370, 360, I said, okay, then we're having a strong ticker, right? This is the 5-minute chart. So DM, hopefully that helps you, DM. I saw the price action early out of the gates, first 10, 15 minutes, and that's when you could tell where the market makers are potentially moving, where investors are potentially going. And this one was headed down right out of the gates. And I saw that price action. I went short. I scalped in here, went long, went short, did not hold a short overnight, covered. I probably made about 7, 8, 9 grand on this name in after hours yesterday. But hopefully that price action shows you, we were headed down. And that's where we ended up today. And that's why I didn't alert it or play it once. So that was Dare. Great question. Quality Oregon, no question. Just want to say thank you for being the best source of daily knowledge and calls. You got it, pal. Anything I can do to help. I'm trying to help as many folks as I possibly can. Appreciate the kind words, though. And thanks for being a loyal subscriber. Is market going to do a pullback for 2022 put option, Jaheim? I personally think we're in rip mode right now. There's a lot of big money, money on the side trying to get into some equities. You got portfolio reviews at the end of the year with clients. Everyone wants to be in their high, pretty, juicy names. I personally think you might see a rip into January, and then maybe January, Feb, March. Then you might start to see some cool downs with people sort of taking some profits. Rates might be increasing next year, early as next year. But I think markets, I don't see much downside potentially unless there's a big catalyst that maybe moves the downside or maybe a sudden event. I don't see markets going too much lower from here. After January, I think it's all hands in the air. We could see that 10, 15, 20% correction. But right now, we saw huge dip buyers the other day, and that was solid buying. So you got to think there's a lot of folks trying to wait on the sidelines buying dips, and a lot of money's trying to get into the market right now, not so much out. When rates increase, if not when. It's not if, it's about when. When rates increase, that's when you might be starting skeptical. That's when maybe you want to start taking a look at those puts, maybe some longer expiration on the SPY puts, because that's maybe when we start to see some downside out of the equities, maybe into bonds or real estate or REITs, etc. Hopefully that helps you. When you day trade, you always use the 5-minute chart, Matt Francis. Yes, sir, Matt. Always 5-minute chart. That's just how I trade off of that. Can we talk CFVI, ENCS? No, I'm not going to talk particular stocks, guys. Just more so questions. Any other questions you may have. I'm not going to talk particular tickers. Do you have lifetime subscription pricing? I do not. We have yearly subscription pricing right now. You can message at Beaky or at Texas Bull. They could give you the rates. I think we're having a discount currently for the holidays for yearly subscriptions. So you can definitely look at that. Good question, though. I do not have lifetime subscription. You're not the first person to ask that. Maybe I should do some lifetime subscription. I'd have to think about a price that, you get it 20, 30, 40, 50 years because, we're not going anywhere. I don't plan on going anywhere unless the world ends. But yeah, I can look into that. Thank you for the question. I'll keep in mind. I'll talk to some of the marketing folks and see what we can do for you. How do you determine multiple sell targets? How much your position for each? Multiple sell targets, basically where sellers sold or where resistances are. So let's go look at, for example, let's look at ISIG, right? How did I come up with selling targets? Nathan Best, I'll get to your question after. That's a fun question. I like that question. ISIG, let's get to targets, right? Let's go back to, okay. ISIG, first day, right? We see the rockets up, right? So if you buy in the nines, where's the first target of selling? Selling was 1280, $13. That's sort of where I gave the target, $13, right? Next target was this double, triple peak in here, right? Which is 15. 15 plus was the grand slam target because you have one top, two top, three top. It's called a triple top resistance right there. So that's where sellers started, right? Anything over 15, you probably see the squeeze. AKA, we saw the squeeze 15 to 25 today, right? When it broke 15, that's where shorts were holding it under, right? So that's where I give my sell targets, right? I give first, second, third, sort of like a walk-up ladder, because some people want to sell at 10, 20% gains. Some people want to close their eyes and hope for the best and maybe get a grand slam 50%, 100% winner. And some people who are ridiculously greedy and don't listen to my first two price targets that I like to potentially sell at, want to hold for the grand slam, and the grand slam hits once in a while, and it hit today. Hit today for 140%. So you get people who trade differently, right? The people who want their 5, 10% gains, people who want to close their eyes and hope for 50%. But that could get you into trouble too, right? If you're really holding for too long. When the targets are hit, I always say maybe scale half out, maybe scale what you put in, scale your principal, let the profits ride. At that point, you can never lose money if you take those certain routes, right? So hopefully that helps. Awesome, and hopefully that helps the question. What is the biggest single daily percentage gain you've ever seen? I don't even know. Probably 1,200%. We've seen a bunch. OBLN. What else? NBY, I think, was an 800% runner back in the day. Kodak. I think we got into like threes or fives. It ran to like 50. DWAC recently. We alerted that one at 10, 11, 12s. We loaded that one about 8 a.m. in the morning, and it ran to 180 something the next day, 170 something the next day, or 2 days later. That was bizarre. That wasn't a single day. But yeah, so yeah. Single day, probably about 800 to 1,200%. Those would be like the super ultra novas. That's probably the biggest percentage gap up I've seen in a day, with volume, etc. What else? Awesome. So if you guys have no more questions, please go hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If this was helpful, I went over charting. Please go back in the video if you're just hopping on now. Tons of charting for the last sort of 30 minutes. Go check it out. Subscribe to Spud Zone. Look in the link in the bio. You can see the Spud Zone. I can't even speak anymore. See the Spud Zone link to join the Discord. Follow me on StockTwits, 23,000 followers there. You also can follow me on Webull, 53,000 followers there. I hope you guys are enjoying the experience here on YouTube. There's a lot more personal, in-depth stuff on the Discord. Highly recommend trying it out. Cancel anytime you want. No, I'm not pushing subscription. It's just where I'm doing everything in real time. YouTube's obviously after the fact, after the trading session, talking about plays, talking about where we went right, where we went wrong for the day. Today was a solid play, solid days of alerting. I hope folks had some good plays, as well as some great swing trades recently as well. Have a wonderful night. I will do a larger Q&A session maybe in weeks to come, maybe after the holidays. If I don't see you folks, thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful holidays with your family. Let's try and close out these couple weeks strong, and let's crush it in 2022. Get ready. I think it's going to be another big year, so let's keep it up. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the kind words. Thanks for all the comments. Appreciate it, Yash, October, Bruce, Daniel, Mike. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks, Shannon.